Uh, and then Diamond Tiara says, funny? No. And then Delilah says, oh wait, never mind. And just like that when Delilah says, oh wait, never mind. Then Pepper says, wait, don't give up. How about the Mama Monkey give me out? And then the Paw Squad, Delilah Pepper says, and then Diamond Tiara says, Mama Monkey, still not funny. Where Pepper says, there has got to be a way to make her laugh. Where Delilah says, wait, I know an idea. And just like that when Delilah says, wait, I know exactly an idea. He can juggle. Then Pepper says, great idea. I know he can juggle a mop. Where Delilah says, make him juggle some more. Where Pepper says, great idea. More mops, perfumes, and triangles. Where Pepper says, it's working. It's hilarious. Where Delilah says, hold on, get ready for a wild ride. And then the Paw Squad, Delilah Pepper says, ta-da. And then Diamond Tiara says, Black, stop that. Then Diamond Tiara asks, I don't like mumbling creatures, juggling triangles, perfumes, and mops on my head. And then Mumble Monkey repeats what Diamond Tiara says. The Mumble Monkey says, on my head. Then Diamond Tiara says, stop that. Then the Mumble Monkey says, stop that. Then Diamond Tiara says, I mean it. And the can't help it. When everyone talks, I don't wanna listen. I can't help it. I wanna hide, I wanna go missing. I'm always addicted to just like that when Diamond Tiara says, I mean it. Then the Mumble Monkey says, I mean it. Then Diamond Tiara says, off my head. Now I'm keeping the glider and this book about funny creatures that'll always make you laugh, which is not a good name for the book because this Mumble Monkey did not make me laugh. Where Diamond Tiara says, this book is mine. And then Delilah says, Pepper, is that true? I'm never getting back my book about funny creatures that'll always make you laugh. I like that book. Then Pepper said, Delilah, you will get your book back, and I'm gonna get my glider back. There has gotta be a way to make her laugh, and I know someone who can help us. The Mumble Monkey says, I can't. Then the Mumble Monkey says, ta-da, 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 ta-da. Then Pepper said, sorry, not you, Sorry, not you, Mumble Monkey. Well, nice try. And then Pepper says, I know somebody who can help us. Then say, Twilight Sparkles. Where Pepper says, hey, Twilight. Where Twilight says, hi, Pepper. Hi, Paw Squad. Hi, Benjamin. Hi, Delilah. They say, hi, Twilight. Where Twilight says, what's wrong? Where Pepper says, Diamond Tiara has my glider. Where Delilah says, and my book about funny creatures that'll always make you laugh. Where Pepper says, and she won't give it back until we make her laugh. Where Twilight says, did you try a leaf on your head? Then, yes. Twilight asks, did you try a mustache? Then Pepper says, a big one. And then Twilight says, did you try the Mumble Monkey? Where Pepper says, he jiggles. Where Twilight says, I know something that'll make Diamond Tiara laugh. A silly dance show. The silly dance show? Where Twilight says, yeah, that'll exactly gonna make her laugh. Where Pepper says, well, let's try. Where Pepper says, it's showtime. Where Diamond Tiara says, not funny. Definitely not funny. Where Pepper says, hey, Diamond Tiara. And then Diamond Tiara says, you again? Then Pepper says, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's start the silly dance show. Wait, before we start our show needs music. Where Diamond Tiara says, nope. Where Diamond Tiara says, nope, not funny. Where Diamond Tiara says, okay, it's a little funny. Then Pepper said, did you see that? All right. Then Pepper said, you smiled. Then Diamond Tiara says, no, I didn't. Then Pepper said, yes, you did. That means you're almost laughing. And then Diamond Tiara says, never. Then Pepper said, she thinks silly dance shows are very hilarious. How about we make something else to dance? Wait, dance doesn't start a sound. Does move start a sound? Yeah, it does. Okay, let's make Mr. Sparkles move again. Move! Then Pepper said, we need something else to move. Where Pepper says, good idea, Benjamin. Diamond Tiara's chair. Where Pepper says, we need your help. Turn the letters that way. Got it! Move! And then Diamond Tiara says, hey, I'm moving. I don't like moving. Then Diamond Tiara says, I'm keeping this too. Mine. Hey! And then Twilight says, she's got Mr. Sparkles. Then Delilah says, and my book. Then Pepper said, and my glider. And then Diamond Tiara says, moving chair? Not funny. Where Pepper says, stop. Down. Wait. Those words don't start a letter M. Whoa, look out, Doc! Where Pepper says, after that chair. And then Diamond Tiara starts singing a song called Why Am I Not Stopping? Diamond Tiara says, why am I not stopping? Why am I not stopping? Then Delilah says, slow down. Then Pepper says, come back. And then the Paw Squad says, yeah. And then Benjamin says, aha, yeah. And then Diamond Tiara says, almost hit the statue. Boy, am I not laughing. Then Diamond Tiara says, whoa. And then Pepper said, Diamond Dazzle Tiara, are you okay? Then Diamond Tiara says, no, I'm not okay. They say, uh-oh. Then Diamond Tiara says, I'm cold and I'm wet. Now I have to go back all the way back home to my home. Where Delilah says, and then Pepper said, what's so funny, Delilah? Then Delilah asked, I like the starfish on her head. Then Pepper says, oh yeah. And I like the glasses they're made out of twigs. Where Pepper says, that's it. How about we could get Diamond Tiara to see herself? They say, how? Where Pepper says, like a mirror. Wait. Does mirror start a sound? Yeah, it does. Okay, let's make a mirror. And then Pepper makes a mirror. Diamond Tiara walking back and forth over and over again till Diamond Tiara says, now to walk all the way back home to my house. I don't like walking. Then Diamond Tiara says, wait. Then Diamond Tiara says, wait. Who is that in the mirror? Where Pepper says, she started to smile. Then Diamond Tiara says, she's wearing a starfish on her head and a twig they're made out of glasses. Where Delilah says, she likes it. Where Diamond Tiara says, wait, it's me. Yes, all right. Where Pepper says, we did it. We got Diamond Tiara to laugh. Where Diamond Tiara says, hey, since you got me last, you got your things back. They say, all right. Where Twilight says, we got Mr. Sparkles back. Where Delilah says, and my book. Then Pepper says, and my glider. Where Pepper says, let's play another game before it gets dark. They say, how? Where Pepper says, how about play my glider again? And then Mumble Monkey wants Pepper's glider again. And they all live happily ever after. The end.